Good morning. Happy Kwanzaa, Barigani. Today is Kuumba, the sixth day of Kwanzaa. So, very happy to be celebrating Kwanzaa. Let me see if I can share my screen so that I am able to share some things with you in regards to what we're doing today. Okay. That should be good. So happy Kwanzaa. Welcome to day 6 of Kwanzaa-KUUMBA, which is creativity. And the way that we define, or the way that Dr. Karenga, who created Kwanzaa, defines it as, is to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. So really just trying to find creative ways for us to tap into different things. I'm not physically lighting a candle today, but virtually. Let's say if we were lighting the candle. I'm going to just read this passage from Dr. Karenga. Every year, he does an annual founder's message in reference to Kwanzaa, and he talks about the different principles. This year, in particular, his theme really talked about celebrating Kwanzaa in the face of difficulties, disappointments. And so for each principle, he kind of gives a little bit in regards to what you can say as you light the candle. So I'm going to share for Kuumba, which is creativity today. Let us light the candle and lift up the lasting light of Kuumba, creativity. This principle and practice are dedicated to the proposition that we are called to always do as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. And this speaks of our local and national community and our world community as Africans, human beings, and world beings. And we are to honor the ancient African ethical imperative of Suruj Ta, which means it's an ancient Egyptian concept, which means to repair, renew, and remake. And so that's to constantly repair and remake the world, creating a new history and horizon of possibilities for us and all of humankind. And this was published on the 26th, the first day of Kwanzaa, the Day of Unity. And so today I just want to talk a little bit about creativity and how we can repair and remake the world and creating a new history and horizon of possibilities for us. Those are the things I think that we should kind of tap into and focus on and think about some intentions. How can we tap into our creativity to set intentions for the new year? And I wanted to talk a little bit about vision boarding and coming up with new visions for the new year. So let me see. I think the last thing, yes. Toni Morrison, the author, wonderful author, wrote a book entitled Song of Solomon. And I think it might be one of the last sentences. It's towards the end of the book. I think it's in the last chapter of the book. And this quote says, "If you surrendered to the air, you could ride it. If you surrendered to the air, you could ride it." And so I'd like for us to just kind of focus on that for a little bit. I'm going to actually close my eyes just for a moment. And we'll just visualize ourselves floating in the air. See yourself just flying and gliding through the air, weightless, completely floating, and most of all, liberated in a true sense, truly feeling free. What would you do if you could fly? Where would you go? What things would you experience? How would that enrich your life? How would that change the quality of your life if you truly could fly? Just take a moment to think about some of the things that you would do for yourself, for your community, without fear, without restraint, without doubt, completely owning and taking advantage of your freedom. There's an anthology of children's stories that some of us may have read. I know we had it in our library growing up, and it was called The People Could Fly. And there were many, many stories and folk tales, some from Africa, some from African American heritage, but beautiful stories of inspiration, of deep rooted moral lessons, but mostly stories that would encourage creativity, imagination, daydreaming, and really vision, the ability to see yourself in the best way possible. What do you see in yourself? And how can you manifest that and use that creativity towards our community as a whole? So I'm going to just take one deep breath together. Let's inhale and exhaling with an audible sigh. Just releasing anything that's not serving us today and settling into tapping into creativity. I'll allow my eyes to just flutter open at this time. And we'll just return to the space here. I think I can stop sharing well, I'll leave that because I really like the quote. We'll leave the quote up. If you surrendered to the air, you could ride it. It's such a beautiful quote. Um, as we are ending this calendar year, 2024, one of the things that often happens is people start to make goals, people start to uh, do New Year's resolutions, they set intentions for the new year. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? What kinds of things will happen? I think that for us, for Kuumba, for creativity, it's important for us to truly tap into a place where we are unfiltered, where we allow our creativity to flow, where we allow ourselves to be free, and really, really take some time to think about that before we go into the new year. Because what we do have is endless possibilities. There is so much research done on actually writing down and being very concrete with goals, and how really having the presence of your goals, like a vision board or a physical reminder, how all these things start to truly change your brain, they change your patterns and habits, and then eventually change your life, because these things become part of your life, and how you can really create your own new reality by really starting to set intentions and getting grounded in some really, really good habits and patterns for you. So you have the possibility. So why not just jump out there and do the things that you really, really would love to do? The things that seem outrageous, the things that seem completely amazing and unfathomable. This is a day where we can tap into that. This is a day where we can kind of set those intentions. And one of the things that I really, really want to get across to you, there's a few things. So the first thing is that even if what you desire seems out of reach, there's a baby step that you can start with. So no matter what it is, there are baby steps. So if you want to be the next Denzel Washington and you want to be an accomplished actor, there's a baby step. And so that baby step might be watching YouTube for tips on how to be a good actor, practicing some things at home, or getting yourself an acting coach, or starting to dig deep into school, acting school, or what have you. So, baby steps. If your big, outrageous dream is to start a business, there are so many different things and resources we have on the internet, or there are people that you might know who own a business, asking the people the right questions. But there are baby steps that you can take in order to get to that really, really great goal. So I feel like that's a big thing when we think about setting intentions, is that the intention is part of a baby step of the dream, right? So the dream can be large and lofty, and it can feel far away. But what's the specific intention that you're setting that you can actually get to? So, starting small and really having a habit that attaches to that is a really great thing. And when we talk about vision boards and creating vision boards, and I created, I mean, I've done vision boards for a while, and I used to do vision boards very old school way, a piece of paper and cutting out magazines on like a piece of cardboard, and just whatever it was that caught my eye that I thought I wanted to see in my life or how I wanted to see myself. I would cut out pictures and literally glue them to a sheet of paper. But now we're in a place where we can do vision boarding on our phones. We can create photo collages of different things we see. We can have add a picture to our daily reminders of things that we want to be reminded of. So there's a lot of virtual types of things that we can do. But the second thing that I think is important is really making a connection between your intention and your larger vision. So make sure that you're able to kind of see where those two things connect and how they're able to really allow you to get to the dream that you have. So, let's see. For me, I think last year, one of the things that I really, really I wanted to see myself as a yoga teacher, as a yoga instructor. And so the baby step was once a month offering yoga class, something that was doable, something that was small, something that made me comfortable. I did it virtually. So it was something that I was able to manage in a way that was a baby step that I had time to prepare, but it became part of the bigger dream and it was connected to that bigger dream. So whatever your small step intention is, make sure it's still connected, that you find a way to regularly connect it to the dream. So, like planning things out maybe for the whole year, something once a month or something once a week, twice a week, or what have you. So, really scheduling things so that you have them all together in your mind and actually in your schedule. One of my good friends always tells me if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Um, so even being able to put certain things on your calendar, setting up dates, setting reminders of dates you want to do things by, I think is really, really important for us as we move forward with intention setting. And the final thing I think when we're talking about visions and your vision for yourself is making sure that you have reminders of it that are sparked by your senses. So I am an auditory person for sure. So I have a lot of different reminders on my phone, but my reminders, I have different ringtones that remind me of different things. And so for me, those reminders and hearing a certain song or hearing a certain tone actually triggers in me, oh, I forgot. This is what I need to do. That's right. I'm gonna do ABCD, or yes, let me keep myself focused because I need to make sure I finished blah, 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 or whatever that is. So for me, auditory is my preferred sense. Uh, if you're a visual person, maybe printing something out and actually physically putting it on your mirror in your bathroom or in your bedroom or hanging it. Sometimes I know some of us spend a lot of time in our cars, hanging it from your rearview mirror in your car if you have a long commute or what have you, or putting it on your dashboard or things like that, or as you go in and out of your home. So different things like that. So making sure that you have some type of reminder of whatever these visions are that you're having, I think is really, really important to kind of tap into creativity. Um, my daughter, actually both of my daughters, I would say are artsy people, one a little bit more than the other. And one of the things that I find fascinating about her is that for her, creativity is limitless and she just kind of goes for it. And so when she's doing certain things in art, She is fearless. She takes risks. She goes the extra mile. She really kind of challenges herself and challenges, let's say, even the norms of today. So if there are colors that, she'll say things like, my teacher said that these colors shouldn't really go together. This is supposed to be the color palette we were using, but I added a little bit of such and such because I thought it would look really good. And so being able to challenge yourself, I think, with creativity can really help you as you set intentions for the new year. And that can be a gift from you to you for the new year. One of the beautiful things I see about Kwanzaa um, is these last 3 days of Kwanzaa. So yesterday was Nia, which is purpose, and actually Nia in Swahili it does mean purpose, but people also use the word Nia to say intention. So it's kind of like Nia intention. What's your intention? And then Kuumba today, creativity. So setting those intentions and then being creative with it. So tapping into it, being creative. What's your vision? What do you see? What can you do? How can you dance your way through this life? How can you act your way through this life or create your way through this life? And then tomorrow is Imani faith, which I think leaves us with a space of really digging deep and tapping into the faith to actuate all of these things. And so I think that that's a beautiful thing for us to really kind of tap into. So I hope that the Kwanzaa journey has been beautiful for you. I hope that you're able to set some good intentions for the new year. I hope that you're able to connect your vision and tap into your creativity and truly have that vision for yourself. And then tomorrow, step out on faith and actually do the thing. Do the thing. I watched Quincy Jones documentary on Netflix the other day, and he said something like to be humble with your creativity. Always be humble with your creativity because it's a gift. And so I hope that you're able to kind of be humble, but also use that creativity as you go along your way. So, in the spirit of Kwanzaa, I would say today we celebrate the spirit of Kuumba creativity. And we take the time to just truly honor our ancestors, those who came before us, and were able to tap into creativity and create things because they not like us. They not like us. We know that. Uh, I want to give honor to the elders who are still moving in creative ways and doing things in a different way for their generation and truly recognize where we are as a people and moving forward and being creative and learning to renew, learning to repair, learning to restore different things. So we have to kind of change the game as we pour into the children our gifts who have creativity so naturally. So hopefully you have a beautiful day. Happy Kwanzaa, Habari Gani, Kuumba, Harambe Harambe, and Ashe. Take good care.